Welcome to another Tired Sandwich Final Thoughts. This time we'll be talking about Monster Hunter Wilds. What can I say about this game? But excellent. This game, while having issues, like the fact that sometimes my stuff looks like Play Doh because I'm playing on a 2070, um, it has issues. The game has some issues. But overall, the game's super fun. I find myself having to keep go back, or I find myself keep going back with my buddies. Like me and my buddy Doge, we've been hunting down the large crowns and the small crowns. So the biggest monster and the smallest monster, and I'm just having so much fun. Even though I beat the game, I beat all the stuff in it, it's still just a blast. So Monster Hunter Wilds, as I said in the first thoughts, is the new Monster Hunter game in the series. We see a lot of new game mechanics in this, like the way that the wounds work, and just some of the different weapon types and what they do when they crack a wound. It's really cool and a lot of fun to use. I saw my friend Waz doing like Attack on Titan moves, and it was really cool. Um, the mechanics make the monsters a little easier to handle. That is true because the mechanics themselves are easier to use and easier to comprehend. They are more streamlined, but that doesn't make it bad. I feel like with the mechanics being the way that they are, it's going to make it easier for newer hunters to come in and play the game and enjoy it. While Monster Hunter mostly has been, harder games, I feel like Monster Hunter World started with something new by making it more being able to get into it easier for people who've never played the series. And then with Rise, they complemented what Worlds had and added to it. And now with Wild, we have the complete product, which I think is just excellent. Now, I get it. Certain longtime Monster Hunter players will possibly find these new mechanics easy. I would say give it a chance. They're bringing G rank or Master rank, whichever one they decide. I'm not very sure. When that comes, we all know that Capcom's not going to hold back and that they are going to bring in some challenging monsters. I went back and I fought the Tiger X recently on World, and I got my ass stomped. Like, super easily, he kicked my ass. So I can only imagine what they're planning on bringing to G rank or Master rank in this one. Personally, I did have some challenges with some monsters I got in the high rank. Some of them even knocking me out in a hit. I'm not going to say which one. Well, yeah, no, this is final thought, so I'm going to. Spoiler alert: Gore Magala. Gore Magala kicked the crap out of me, but it was so much fun running around and collecting monsters I need to up my items, and then finding new monsters to hunt, aka harder and harder monsters because of you know high rank. Now I'm still working on armor sets and weapons and deciding what I want to do in the long run. But for a new Monster Hunter, it makes it really beautiful. It's a beautiful addition to the series that this game has done so much new stuff, and like I think it's going to bring in a lot of new players, which hey, we need with Monster Hunter. It's just what it is. I can't wait to see where this game ends up going in the long run with master rank or G rank, and I know none of my friends can wait for it either. So after beating this game, you're probably wondering, you're going to ask me, should you buy this game? Should you play this game? I would say absolutely yes. This game was a lot of fun. If you like games like Monster Hunter or games similarly like action wise, yeah, why not? This game, though, may not have the perfect story and may have some characters that are going to frustrate you, nada, for a lot of people, but they had that same thing with the old handler. Like nobody liked the old handler. In this game, no one likes Nada. Personally, I did like Nada with his story and like the way that it comes to an end. Though a lot of people didn't like that. I get it. He kind of flip flops. He's like, "Oh, we need to kill this guy," and then he's like, "No, but he has freedom like me," and I get it. But also, he's a child, so like whatever. Um, but yeah, I think anybody should play it. I think it's an excellent game. It's an excellent addition to the Monster Hunter series. I know I'm going to be playing it for a while and keep going as G rank or master rank comes out. But man, it's just been such an awesome ride with this game. I mean, every night I've been playing at least like 4 or 5 hours, I think, of Monster Hunter with my buddy Doge. We just been hunting other monsters. He's rank, I want to say 150 now, or HR 150, and I'm like HR 87. Like it's just fun. It's just a fun game. And it's fun to challenge yourself with these monsters. And I get it. Some people are going to say, well, they're not really a challenge, but they are when you get to high rank. There are monsters that will kill you in high rank with one hit, no matter your armor. Like, it's what it is. So, should you play this game? I think so. Now, it is a steep price. I think it's like 60 or 70 bucks, I want to say, for the regular edition. So I get it. You might want to wait for a sale or whatever, but I think that it's worth the money. Personally, I think that it was worth the money to pay for because I've already played, I think, close to 60 some hours. My buddy played like 122 hours. Like, it is a blast of a game. So, yeah, with that, I hope you give this game a chance. It's awesome. And those are the pretty much my final thoughts. I'm going to talk about a couple other things. So, spoilers on like I'm trying to make this as spoiler free as I can for my final thoughts, but this is the spoiler part. So if you don't want to know some of the stuff that I really liked with spoilery stuff, then now's the time to leave. I'll wait. All right, now that that's like that, um, so the end fight with Zoshia or Zoshia or whatever the heck it's called, I love that fight. His AoE ability or their AoE, I don't know if it's a girl dragon or a guy dragon, I'm not sure. Um, the AoE ability from that monster literally scared the crap out of me when it happened. I like did not see it coming, and when it did, I got my ass stomped. But I won at the end. I beat it the first time, I'm pretty sure. But the sheer mass of that monster and the way that as you crack open the skin and the like actual dragon comes out from this protective skin, dude, it's just so cool. It literally was awesome. And like as you're going in a fight, you have where Nada and your handler and Gemma are just standing there, and the handler goes and says, "Watch, Nada. This is what hunters do." Man, it gave me chills, like literal chills. Um, but I loved every fight. I loved getting farted on by Kongalala or just getting stomped by Gore Magala. Like we fought the biggest Gore Magala in the game that we could find, and it was crazy. It was chaos the entire time. Um, yeah, it's just so many good fights. It's so many good fights, and like the game itself is just I keep saying amazing, like it's gonna mean something more each time I say it, but I'm a long time Monster Hunter fan. I've been playing it since the second game came out, and this is gonna be one of my favorite Monster Hunters of all time, for sure. Like I liked Rise and I liked Worlds and I liked Ultimate 4 and I liked Try and all that. Um but this one definitely is going to be Rise and Worlds in my eyes. And it's been so fun. It's just been so fun. So yeah, to end all this, play the game. Give it a chance. There's problems. The end game doesn't have a ton of stuff to do right now. They are working on bringing more end game stuff. But Monster Hunter has always been about fashion hunter. You get to the end and you make armors with your friends, you get weapons, and you just fight over and over again, which is a lot easier in this one. You don't have to collect as much to get the armors that you want, but it's fun. You know, find not find the fun. It is just fun. You'll find yourself just going back and playing. I know some people won't, and that's okay too. Like, that's the beauty of games. Like, you can always go back and play Rise, or you can even play Worlds if you want. I have a couple friends who are going back and playing Worlds. But in my humble opinion, this game was excellent. I'm not going to give it a score or whatever. I'm just going to say play it. Give it a chance. If, it's worth it. And with that, as always, bear hug, and let's go on an adventure. Bye bye. Oh, wait. Let's listen to how my friends felt about the game. I forgot.
All right, so the way that I feel about Monster Hunter Wilds is the fact that I haven't even had the privilege of playing too much World, but in my experience with playing Wilds, it's a good experience all around. Do enjoy 10 out of 10, would recommend to those. It's a little bit on the easier side than I would say on World, but that's a good learning curve for people who haven't played it before, like me.
All right. So overall, I thought Monster Hunter Wilds was a really fun game. I thought the fighting was a lot of fun, and the need to grind the monsters to get armor was really addicting. I love trying. I just messed up. Um, I love games where you can grind uh, certain things and certain monsters in this particular game to be able to get more and more things to build the armor that you're trying to get. Um, Also love the cosmetics and how they looked, especially some of the later game stuff. I thought it looked really sick. Um, I know a lot of people had issues with some of the side quests. You, Josh, with your fish, but I loved fishing. I thought it was really relaxing and really brought a different aspect to the game. But also being able to capture some of the little creatures, I thought was fun. Except for the one quest with the little mouse, I can't stand that one. That one sucked. But, overall, I gave the game 9 out of 10. I had a lot of fun, uh, being able to capture and kill monsters whenever I wanted to and with friends. It's definitely, if you wanna play by yourself, it's fun, but, playing it with friends is definitely where the experience is. But overall, I thought it was an awesome game.
Wait, do you want my opinion on the end of it, or do you want my entire opinion on the game? Okay, so coming from the perspective of somebody who played Wilds first and then went back and played World, I think Wilds is infinitely better mechanically in terms of the gameplay of the actual game than Worlds is. Worlds is extremely clunky. Like, I went back and put 8 hours into Worlds after putting 50 hours in Wilds, and night and day difference. Like, it was honestly pretty crazy because I'd played Worlds right when it came out and then didn't play it for years and went back, and I didn't even realize
I'm back.
all the stuff that they mechanically changed in it. So it was like really crazy to actually kind of see the difference, because when I was first playing through Wilds, it's not something that I really noticed. In terms of like the people who are criticizing the game right now are mostly criticizing it on the basis that there's not enough content and that there's just not as many monsters, which is true, but it needs more time. Like, World had 7 years at this point to add content, and now there's Iceborne and there's all kinds of stuff in the game. Whereas Wilds is going to be in the same play. Wilds is going to be the better game by the time it has the same amount of time that World had to cook, basically. So it's going to end up being the better game. Right now, it can just be a little bit once you get through the main story and you do kind of the chapters 4 through 6 and you do the end game stuff. It does become really grindy. And I do think it's kind of problematic right now that they don't have a lot of there's not really any meaning to the armor right now, because there's no really need to have build up elemental resistances or any kind of like status effect resistances. So you can just basically kind of steamroll the game in whatever armor you want. So it's purely cosmetic. But I think people are going to be in for a pretty big surprise when they start like updating the game. I think people have been crying so much about it that they're going to come back and really make the next tier of like monster hunting, whatever that is, whether that's G rank or master rank or however they decide to handle it in this game, is going to be really, really, really hard. Like it's like Matt said, it's going to be like fighting monsters. I think in the future of Wilds is going to be like, fighting in a fucking Chevy truck with a wet noodle. It's going to be awesome. So I think Wilds, while it might be a little bit lacking for content right now, I think ultimately it's going to be the best Monster Hunter. Granted, I didn't play the originals, so maybe I'm just a filthy casual and don't know what I'm talking about. But I think Wilds is a good game, and you shouldn't be surprised if you put 200 hours in a week and then be surprised when there's no content left for you to do. Oh, spicy.
So, my thoughts on Monster Hunter Wilds. Overall, fantastic game. Really well done. Beautiful story. Everything was really well done. I love the monsters. I mean, they brought some old favorites. They brought some new favorites. Weapons feel amazing. I pretty much tested out all the weapons. Love the new combos. Honestly, I'm waiting for the new content to drop because that's when I'll definitely 100% go back. I did everything I kind of wanted to do. I got all the armors that I really wanted, got the weapons I really wanted, and now I'm just kind of waiting for them to drop some harder monsters in G rank and fucking get back at it. Hell yeah.